Still not my favorite of his themes. Still not my favorite of his themes. And that was one where it didn't sound like all the others.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
No, that one was entirely unique right from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And the ending theme, I can't listen to it without just bawling like a baby.
Oh man! That's because, but that's also because you've got the context.
Hi. Yes.
Where's your video?
I mean, I remember when I saw it in the theater.
I
sobbed like a baby, and I called him.
I kept. Well, my dad's been dead for years, so I thought, oh God, all this missed time with him.
Well, I called up my father, and I called him up, and I said, Dad, I love you. And he's like, T, I'm asleep. Just okay, I love you too. Bye.
We are live on Facebook.
Later. Oh, we're live on Facebook.
Okay, we're live on Facebook. Okay.
I'm going to share and share alike. Hosting as me. Post it to.
We'll have to stop all the inappropriate comments now.
Where's the fun in that?
I don't even know what they were, and I thought that was a funny comment.
Yeah.
Okay, I shared.
I shared.
Have you shared recently?
I'll share.
God, I'm looking at his
Lightsabers at night?
I wield my lightsaber at night so I can
kill the younglings sleeping in their beds.
Oh, that's so dark.
And what part about lightsabers at night isn't dark? Welcome to Technorama pre-show. We're getting started. Note the new sign in the background.
The new sign.
Whoops. And there was much rejoicing.
Yay.
So like half the crowd left and there were like 6 people left.
All right. So how's my delay? Is it better? Worse?
It's actually not bad. I mean, it's tolerable.
Oh, yeah, much better. Right. Nice try.
Okay, now I feel like I'm watching a Japanese film.
You will have much honor in this podcast.
Godzilla!
I'm about to get you now.
All right. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Shall we?
Shall we play a game?
Professor Falcon.
Falconberry.
I'm your Huckleberry.
There we go. Technorama episode 517, The Space Between Your Ears.
Good morning, folks. This is your captain speaking.
Technorama.
Remember when?
Technorama.
On this day in tech history.
Tech.
And now, the news.
Tech.
What the chuck?
Technorama.
Welcome to Blockhead Video.
Hey, I'm here for my audition on the TV show Survivor Planet Earth.
Over there, in the media corner.
Technorama.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Unfasten your seatbelts and disregard all safety rules. Here are your flight crew, Chuck and Kreg.
Chuck and Kreg and a few guests. I am Chuck Tomasi. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Technorama. This is the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first... What are you doing over there?
I was just thinking,
you're in that book, we've got something about sight lines. It's very important. No, yeah. I'm just grooving in the music, man. I'm getting my white man's overbite on.
I just wanted to chime in and say chucking things.
Anyway.
Yeah, we got to be doing the
This is why sight lines matter, Chuck. We write about it in the book.
Start over. This is like the Pledge of Allegiance.
Fine, I'll take a knee. I'll be right back.
I am Chuck Tomasi. Joining me as always is Kreg Stepp. How are you, Kreg?
Oh no, I'm kind of afraid to say anything now.
And the home of the brave. Let's go. Also
Homo and brave?
The homo of the brave.
Man, why everything got to be gay with you two? Why is
I'm
that?
sorry.
Why
Is
is
this an
that?
editorial statement?
Get ready, people.
Look at the time, everybody. It's time for the end of the show. Thank you for coming.
It's not too late to hit fast forward if you're listening. Joining me in the binary studio is T. Morris.
I'm not
That's
T.
T. Morris.
I'm a handsome bald man. Thank you very much.
To your hair.
Your hair fell out. And you got fat.
I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.
Donna, just put something on the screen and I'll call him.
I'm feeling fabulous. There we go.
And Keith Lane. How are you, Keith?
That's Keith.
good.
That's Keith over there. That's Keith.
And last but not least,
And I'm the brave homo, and this is my podcast voice.
Yeah.
Sounds like Madge Weinstein.
That's another one that will never be forgotten. The podcast voice.
The podcast. Everybody comments about use your podcast voice.
This is my podcast voice. How you doing?
Thanks, Satan.
Satan, my name is Gladys.
Gladys.
Let's get this show started, shall we?
Oh my God.
Letters.
Oh, we get letters.
Edersley.
We get your letters every day.
Edersley every day.
Mail, I think
Mail today. Reach right in and pull one out. Those letters. I love those letters. Let's find out what you got to say.
I'm out of sync.
Mail today.
I used that, by the way. Those listening
Yeah,
missed it. It's
yeah.
a visual. Keith and I were presenting. We'll get into PIY later, but we were presenting at the same time. And I used
Did you
that.
use that yesterday?
Yes, he did.
Oh, God bless
Yes,
you.
he did.
Bless
Yes, he did.
you.
Of course, I was doing it wrong.
This is how much fun you can have podcasting, and I showed that video, animated GIF of us dancing away.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's funny.
And everybody
And
laughed.
ironically, everybody left the room. I don't know why.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
This is what podcasting is.
That's too much for me.
Whatever you're
Wait,
smoking.
that's the next GIF we got to do. Hold on a second. We're just going to do that for a second. Perfect. Loop
Like
that
the Kermit-
sucker.
Is that the Kermit scream?
We have a postcard from Jorga, our wonderful pen pal.
Oh, cool.
He says, "Greeting from the Netherlands," which is where Maastricht is.
Not to be confused with
Maastricht. Maastricht.
Got one too. I usually keep them out for a little while, and then and I'll put them back up. Put them up. I save them.
What happened? What happened? He spoke Dutch.
Oh, dear. I thought it was going Dutch.
I thought it was a Dutch
I thought it
oven.
was Von Dutch.
This show has no point today.
Let's stop right there.
There's no point to this show anymore.
Podcasting at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to know how to do what we do here, podcastingfordummies.com. Hey.
Does this episode need
Excuse
to...
me.
Well, I whipped this thing out.
Technorama, the gold standard of podcasting.
Okay, now just to
I
point
have one job, and it's right here in my hand. Don't you make me come over there. I
It's
will.
like you got a wind chime and the gong.
I will hurt you with my RSS feed. I will hurt you.
And this can all be found under the chapter of
Craig
things
sits there
not
like,
to do.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Sorry, Chuck, you were
glad-
saying.
Yes.
Look, I'm
Reeling it in.
We had a question of the week last week.
Yeah.
What is the most useless piece? Well, it wasn't last week. It was like last month at this point. What is the most useless piece of knowledge you are proud to carry around?
I do a podcast.
Yeah. Everything in my head.
Yeah, my entire
Hey,
brain,
I'll tell you what
everything in
mine
my
is.
brain is useless.
I've been podcasting for 12 years.
Oh, bless your heart.
Most useless piece of knowledge I know.
Oh, dear.
I'm searching. I know I've got something where it's like, yeah, it's right there in the front of my brain. It has no purpose whatsoever, but I know it.
Which one?
I know
Which one
it.
do you want?
My
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay, go.
I know what it is. Not only do I know all the primary positions of the trombone, I also know the alternate positions of the trombone. There
Is that
are
something
actually
that is like-
51 positions.
I wouldn't
of the
call that
trombone
useless,
slot.
though.
Is that uncommon among musicians?
Oh, it's extremely uncommon because usually trombone players they stick with the 7 positions and they're done. But then there's position 8, and then of course there's position 9, and then it turns out there are 51 positions on the trombone.
Wow.
What, not 69?
No.
That's a
What are you,
position.
12? For God's sake.
I like
Yes.
68
What's your
is my
point?
favorite number.
Anyway, I think that is my most useless point of knowledge is that I know there are 51 positions of the trombone. And when the zombie apocalypse comes upon us all, the Trumpocalypse, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there when the neo-Nazis are knocking down on my door, and I go, "Hey, did you guys know that there are 51 positions on the trombone slide?"
Put them in the ditch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, label this door. It's safe.
Band nerd.
I do have a piece of knowledge I want to share with you guys. Go. Cannibal cigars that he smoked on the show in the A-Team.
Oh yeah,
those were George Papard's private stock.
No,
really? Wow.
Really?
Like that.
Oh, you know what? I see your George Papard, and I raise you a Neeson's. Liam Neeson, before the filming of the underrated A-Team movie, had quit smoking.
Oh dear!
Right before filming, and the thing that he liked to smoke the most, cigars. And they were giving him fine Cuban cigars, and he was just like,
"Man,
I'm just gonna suffer for my art." And yeah, he said
Okay,
that had to be one
next month.
Yeah. He said that was one of the toughest gigs ever because every scene that involved a cigar, I was reminded why I smoked cigars.
Oh dear.
Oh man, good times.
Ben, do you have one? Or
Nope.
Keith?
Nope. Not that I'm sure I do. I just can't think of one right now.
You've got to have like lots of hospital codes or something memorized.
I wouldn't.
I don't remember what the code is, but there is an ICD-10 code for injured while water skis on fire. There's actually there's actually one for a second occurrence of water skis on fire.
Yes.
It's a separate code you have to put on the form.
I guess you would call that useless because how often does that happen?
Yeah. I just want to see the training film for that today, gentlemen and ladies.
Bitten by a pig. There's a code for that too.
First off, you're probably wondering how are the water skis remaining on fire when they're going through water.
Yes.
I'm sure the Darwin Awards have helped out a good bit making those codes. I'm sure.
Oh man,
that should be on one of those. Was it farmers? We are farmers.
Dun, dun, dun,
and they show these obscure cases.
Yeah.
Yep. Water skis on fire. We've seen
covered
that.
it. Thanks, JJ Jameson. We appreciate that. So I guess we got to call him James Gordon now. That actor is going to be James Gordon. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, here's another piece for you.
Yes.
Coke would be green if it wasn't colored. Coca-Cola.
Really?
That's right.
That actually
is
that's
right.
kind of sickening.
That's why they colored it. That's why they colored it.
And you're still drinking
and when it comes up in my next Trivia Pursuit game, I'm getting it.
You get the slice.
What is the natural color of Coca-Cola?
Green.
No,
blue.
You must answer me these questions 3. The other side, he see.
What is the code for breaking your leg or water skiing when the water skis are on fire?
I don't know that.
I think we ought to move into the history. Everyone grab a D20.
Hey, Chuck, you should have established a safe word with T in the room.
A safe word.
Hang on a minute. Hey, Siri.
Oh, man. This
Roll a
dice
D20.
sucks. 1.
Roll a D20.
Here's what I found.
Roll a D20, you dumb bitch.
Here's what I found.
Roll a D20.
Here's what I found. 20. I think.
Whoa!
20 scores.
Look at that. Look at that. Right there.
Okay, Google,
I
right
got a
there.
10.
Roll a D20.
I said.
it.
Yep.
You
I have
rolled
4.
Thank
I
you.
rolled a.
Thank you, Siri.
I got a 1, actually. I won't cheat with Google.
Okay.
My pleasure, asshole.
Okay, so I got a
Ben,
4.
Keith.
What did it say?
Keith?
I got a 10.
Okay.
I got 4.
I got a 5.
I got 10. I got
we'll
20.
Start with T, and we'll hit
Crit
me.
success. Crit success, baby.
And
then you, then me,
we'll go
then
around this way,
Kreg.
then Craig. Okay, so
right.
counterclockwise from T.
I'm behind the door.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Imagine Craig sitting between
And
T
Craig.
and Ben.
Yeah,
And then
T
we'll
and
go this
Ben.
way.
5. Yeah,
Okay.
if Craig were sitting here.
Right. Put the cardboard Craig over there.
Cardboard
I'm
Craig.
telling you, you got to get one.
Here we go. Let's try this. On this day in history for November 1st, 2017, this is the 305th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 60 days. Oh my gosh! There's only 60 days remaining
Holy
in 2017.
Christmas shopping!
Holy.
Go, T.
It was on this date in 1512 that the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel, painted by Michelangelo, is exhibited to the public for the first time.
But what about the 17th chapel?
And did they use ceiling wax?
Yeah. November 1st, 1520, the Strait of Magellan, the passage immediately south of the mainland South America, connecting the Pacific and the Atlantic Oceans, is first discovered and navigated by European explorer Ferdinand Magellan during the first recorded circumnavigation of the voyage. And is that why it's called the Magellan Strait?
That's why it's called circumnavigation.
It was circumnavigation.
Oh,
I had no idea he was Jewish.
Circumcision.
I mean, wow.
Yeah,
Circumcision. What?
We knew we were going there. In Boston, Massachusetts.
Hey, I saw that coming a mile away.
Yes. I think we use that every time. So in Boston, Massachusetts, the first medical school for women, Boston Female Medical School, which later merged with the Boston University School of Medicine, opens on this date in 1848.
And on the same date in 1870, in the United States, the Weather Bureau, later renamed the National Weather Service, makes its first official meteorological forecast. And it was wrong!
Oh, is it my turn now?
Yeah, it is your turn.
Okay, also in November 1st, 1894, Thomas Edison films American sharpshooter Annie Oakley, which is instrumental in her hiring by Buffalo Bill for the Wild West show.
Say, I've seen you in some films.
I did see that, actually. I was just out there.
You saw Annie Oakley?
I saw the video. I was at the museum, the Wild West Museum.
It was on this date in 1896 that a picture showing the bare breasts of a woman appeared in National Geographic magazine for the first time, supplanting Playboy magazine as spank material for youths everywhere. Back to you.
November 1st, 1941, American photographer Ansel Adams take a picture of a moonrise over the town of Hernandez, New Mexico. That would become one of the most famous images in the history of photography.
And
I
we
love the
actually
fact
saw
that,
that.
I love the fact that I'm using this podcaster voice, and you're using the podcaster voice from the. Oh my God! It's burst into flames. The podcast is burst into flames. Oh, the humanity!
Oh, the humanity!
I love that. Anyway.
It was on this date in 1952 that the United States successfully detonates Ivy Mike, the first thermonuclear device. Would you like to play a game, Professor Falcon? At the Inuitak Atoll, the explosion had a yield of 10 megatons of TNT equivalent.
TNT
Dynamite! Right. 60 years ago today, the Mackinac Bridge, the world's longest suspension bridge between the anchorages of our time, opens to traffic connecting Michigan's upper and lower peninsulas. Your turn.
I have pictures of that under construction for my parents.
Is it my turn now?
It is your turn.
Also on November 1st, 1963, the
Arecibo!
Oh, yeah.
El Radar. It's only been in the news for the hurricane, man.
Arecibo Observatory in Arecibo, Puerto Rico, with the largest world telescope ever constructed.
The largest world telescope?
Yep. Officially opens, 1963, November 1st.
And that's the way the news goes.
We're not having Bullwinkle read Arecibo anymore.
Arecibo.
And finally, it was on this date in 1968 that the Motion Picture Association of America's film rating system is officially introduced, originating with the ratings G, M, R, X, and which is latest for my films. Like,
go
with the chopper!
Like Arnold with a little Stallone in there.
Show me the gun, Sully!
Yeah.
Happy birthday goes out on this day to German meteorologist and geophysicist Alfred Wegener, born
Nicely
on this
done.
date in 1880.
We applaud when we get through a hard name.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. You don't know some of those names.
Well, it wasn't Russian, so be grateful.
Thank God.
American publisher, founder Larry Flint Publications. Larry Flint is 75 today.
Publisher. Yeah, that's a good name for him.
Yes.
Well, you know,
Punisher.
there are several
Porn
people.
Master is the one I would use, but that's just me.
There are people like Leonard Nimoy who has singer on his title.
Yeah, okay. Anyway.
Marsha Wallace, American actress and comedian, was born on this same date in 1942.
Mrs. Krabappel.
Kreg.
I was like, is she? Okay.
She is.
Also turning 68 is American physicist and engineer Michael D. Griffin.
American computer programmer and businessman, founder of Lotus Software and Electronic Frontier Foundation. Mitch Capper is 67 today. Thank you, Mitch.
Also born on that same date in 1950, American physicist and academic Nobel Prize laureate Robert B. Laughlin.
And finally, American businessman and engineer, current CEO of Apple, Tim Cook is 57.
Did you know that also this week that Loretta Swit turns
80.
Wow.
Hot Lips Houlihan.
Right.
80 years old.
From the listener birthday calendar, we've got November 1st, Amber Elstad. Mark McCoy is on the 2nd. 2 birthdays on the 3rd, Ken Pace. And Ranger Kreg Glasner. I hear he's coming up for retirement soon. We'll have to have a party for him. On the 4th is Avner. OMG, it's 201. What is that? I'm 40 already. And the 5th is Michael Corlett from New Zealand. That's the way it was on this date in history for November 1st, 2017.
Sweet ass, Michael.
Boo! Nailed that one.
Yeah. Nailed it.
As unpredictable as this crowd gets.
I know. We had the same opportunity on our show earlier, and I messed it
Keith
up.
blew it. He let it cycle all over again.
If you want to be on the birthday calendar, go over to chuckchat.com/wiki and put your name on there. We'll give you a shout out at the appropriate time of year when it's roughly your birthday.
Also consider updating your. Also consider go and update your entries.
Your age.
What?
My son's going to be 5. Well, that was 15 years ago.
That's right.
We have some news, and I believe this would be qualified as good news.
Good news, everyone!
Oh, good news, everyone.
The federal agencies have ordered to adopt basic email security.
Yay.
Thank God.
They are really staying up with the times, aren't they?
You know,
Guess what? Email's going out the door now.
I think, who wants to read this one if I can scroll this?
I'll take a crack at it.
Okay, let me get us.
Crack at it.
Watch, I'll stop scrolling and then it'll take off. It's because there's so many other things loading on the page.
Yeah.
There's a lovely page of some people.
Thanks,
singing.
Gizmodo, for keeping your site so clean and.
At least it's not one of those next pagers that you get 3 sentences and next page.
Next page.
Yeah, or an ad jumps up in front of your face as you're trying to read it.
All right.
Yeah.
I hate
Want to
slideshows.
subscribe?
So here we go.
Whoa! I told you it'd go too far.
Whoa! Nice shooting, Tex. All right.
Somebody grease that pig.
Yeah. A little more.
What's your name,
There we go.
cowboy?
There we go.
Tex, ma'am.
Here we go. The Trump administration is now pushing federal agencies to finally adopt basic security protocols designed to protect government emails, but her emails, against spoofing and phishing attacks. Good luck. Reuters reported on Monday that a senior cybersecurity official at the Department of Homeland Security has confirmed that the agency will issue a binding directive. There's quotes around that, so that's serious. Binding directive, which requires the implementation of long overdue security measures. Within the next 90 days, civilian agencies will be required to adopt both DMARC and STAR/TTLS or Startles
I saw that too.
To implement technologies already widely used in the private sector.
I saw DeMarc and Startles.
Startles
Good name.
is a basic encryption protocol designed to prevent the encryption of emails messages in transit, whereas DeMarc is an email authentication system that combines 2 decades-old technologies.
Spoof and DeKim.
Okay, fine. Designed to detect email spoofing and, in turn, minimize successful phishing attempts. While the U.S. intelligence community has already widely adopted such measures, which only happened after significant prodding, the fact that most government agencies have not has long been a point of admonition. Excuse me. I'm tired.
Huh?
Admonition. All right,
Okay.
amongst security, they're pissed at security experts. The agency responsible for the managing of the Pentagon's email systems announced just this summer that it intended to adopt Startles, which has been around for about 15 years. Here's my issue. For the past, at least, we're coming up on 10 years. The number one password for people.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. It is still that.
It's pathetic.
And
you deserve to be, to have your identity hijacked or spoofed or anything. Have you got a password like that?
That's the thing though. It starts with the human factor. And I used to work at a cybersecurity agency, and I knew for a fact that my boss, a VP, her password was like either password or PA 55 word, and she's in the cybersecurity industry.
Yeah, she's scrambling tomorrow to go change her password.
Exactly.
He's giving it out.
Or she's one of these people that thinks that, well, we've educated so many people for so long that no one would ever go even try to use one of these passwords that I can and I'll be safe. I mean, that's called irony.
Meanwhile, Chuck over here, when he gives me a new password, I feel like I'm Indiana Jones in the scene in the Well of Souls where I'm blowing off the sand and I'm looking at the hieroglyphics and
Jehovah starts with an I.
Yes, exactly.
Well, that's kind of the passwords that I give Keith.
For heaven's sake.
I mean, it's all gibberish.
Oh my God.
It's 12 characters of sheer gibberish.
One password. It's like, really? Can you just not change this password to something that...
You're the problem. You're the effing problem because we're not...
It's for the internet radio!
It doesn't matter! It's a password! You're setting a bad precedent. Or president, the way our president says it.
26 characters. We'll use symbols and numbers and some emoji in there.
Yeah.
Emoji. Throw in a sound effect. Why not? Throw in a bitmoji. There you go. Throw in a bitmoji and you're good.
Are you done now?
I'm done.
Has anyone else been getting calls from people asking if they can send them a mail?
Yes.
I have gotten a number of these in the last few months.
Send a mail?
I have. I don't give them any info.
Usually starts with a foreign accent that says, hello, this is so-and-so. And they're just going on LinkedIn because I know they're reading my job title because the papers they're trying to send me are changing with my job title.
It is really fun.
It used to be, I'd like to send you this on behalf of Red Hat and VMware. You're a platform architect, right? Like, well, yeah. Oh, could we send you this email with this white paper?
No.
Why? First of all, if you have my email address, why do you need to ask?
Why are you calling me?
Yeah.
And it just
nobody else does.
Hi, this
is really
Judy.
funny you bring that up. It is really funny you bring that up because I'm getting these sort of solicitations on Instagram.
Oh, what?
I had somebody on Instagram and I screen captured the whole thing. I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version, but I said I was like, okay, this is going to go somewhere because and the first warning was when in her profile she says she's from the UK in Blackpool, but I'm in Africa now, and I was like, okay, here we go. I said, oh, neat. You should update your profile then. And we had some small talk until finally she wanted me to, she said, I need you to send me an iTunes card. I just want to your it for video.
Oh, my God.
And the dialogue, exactly, the dialogue went like that. So I said, okay, this is what I said in response. Okay, sounds like you're new to scamming people and you're probably in a desperate situation and need money or something.
He's helping them.
Yeah. So here's my advice to you. 1, don't tell people you're from Africa. Considering the amount of scams coming out of that continent, you're just not going to get people to trust you.
I'm from Russia.
2,
China.
That'll help.
2, learn the language. You're really stumbling over your words, and it's clear to me that you don't know English well enough to type it. Most people don't know how they type online. Most people don't care how they type online. But this leads to my third piece of advice. 3, check your profile. I'm a writer. I'm not perfect when it comes to when I post, but I do try to keep my grammar clean. I also will figure out when I'm talking to a legit person and not some scammer based on how they carry themselves in chat. You would have known that I would not have been made a good target as I'm active online and I'm educated. So there's that. And then I said, and 4, play the long game. If you're going to scam someone, you might not be able to do this, but instant gratification and all that. But you need to win over my trust. Within 30 minutes, you're asking me of something simple, but you're asking me, a total stranger, for iTunes credit. I don't know you, but you expect me to trust you? So not the best approach. Get to know your mark. That's the best way to con people. And finally, 5, know your own profile. When I made a reference to your own profile picture, you didn't know what I was talking about. This is basic lessons for anyone trying to con someone. It doesn't matter if you're a spy working for Her Majesty's government or a scammer looking for an iTunes codes in Africa. Know your legend. Live it to an extent. Otherwise, people just know you as a cyber grifter. Long story short, too late. I don't have any iTunes cards, but I do have 5 bits of advice that might make you better at this whole hustle you're trying to make happen.
Okay, I smell a book, Con Job for Dummies.
Whether you're out on the corner with a cardboard sign,
don't give T any ideas.
You're grifting on Instagram.
I'll pitch it. I will pitch it. You in, Chuck? Are you in? Are you in?
Am I a subject matter expert on this? That's what you got to ask yourself.
In cybersecurity, I would believe it.
All right, we got another news story coming up. Ben.
Okay. Amazon's gone to a lot of effort to make its services as convenient as possible.
That they have.
Free delivery, lightning fast delivery, delivery from the sky, delivery before you even order the goddamn thing. Sorry. Well, soon probably. Now it's eliminating the need for you to even have to be at home to receive your packages or to have a designated safe place, because its couriers can now simply let themselves into your property.
That's right.
There is no way this is going to end badly.
No, don't believe me. This will only end badly. It's not as sinister
you let
as
the
it
cats
sounds.
out, I'm coming after you.
No kidding. The Prime members only service called Amazon Key uses a smart lock and connected camera. When a delivery is made, the courier scans the package's barcode, which sends an access request to Amazon's cloud. When it grants permission, the camera starts recording. The courier swipes a prompt on their app, and then your door unlocks. They leave the package by the door and relock it on their way out. You'll get a notification that the delivery has been made, along with a video of the drop-off to reassure you that everything was done above board. Okay, I can kind of see how this goes, but and I kind of see why, because
it's in response to theft.
Well, exactly. I've been seeing so many news stories about people that are actually stealing packages that are left by UPS, FedEx, what.
Yep.
And I know that's why, like the other day, I happened to be home when FedEx dropped something off, and they rang the doorbell to let me know that it was there. So I see why Amazon is doing that, and I could see why. Maybe certain Prime members in certain areas might have access to this kind of thing, but really on the surface, it does sound a bit scary, I think.
Well, and as Keith mentioned, what do you do about pets?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I have a pit bull that's got a bad temperament towards strangers.
I have 5 pit bulls in the house.
Or my cat likes to try and dart out the front door. Please don't let
we
it
have
happen.
4 of them that like to do that.
I haven't seen it, but I have to assume there's some sort of questionnaire about are there animals we should be aware of?
I'm sure there
go
is.
Into the premise.
I think they just can't take this on face value. I'm sure there's got to be some caveats to it.
Well, they have those Amazon.
You have to have the electronic lock to be able to do it for the person. They can't just hit the button and walk in.
And I'm guessing they're going to be selling those to help.
You think?
They are.
Some things like dash buttons they'll give you for as little as $1 or sometimes free. Well, and they'll say,
I was going to say, there's, my garage door, I can put a temporary code on there so somebody can, as soon as they open it, they can put whatever it is, and when it closes, the code's no good anymore.
That's not bad.
I've also seen people that had like a storage, almost like a tool storage thing in their backyard, and the UPS guy would put it in there and just close the lock.
Yeah, well, there's supposed to be those Amazon drop boxes, but I've looked into that.
Yeah.
And they're like people's houses, and I thought, no.
No, I thought they were going to be in public places.
That's what I thought too.
Well,
and I've seen them in public places.
Everyone that I've looked up has been like at somebody's house, and it's like, no.
I don't remember
your kids' candy in here. Come on, it's okay.
I know that it's at the mall where the Kodak Theater is in Hollywood. I've seen them there.
There was those.
But I thought they were supposed to be they're going to be popping up in public places to make it more
Keith has
secure.
been directed to the house with the guy who dresses up as a clown.
Come in.
You clowning around here with my package.
So, 2 security news stories. That's pretty good. And we are a half hour into the story, into the show. Let's take a quick break, and we will be right back with, I swear, more fun.
Greetings from TG Geeks Webcast, where
Ben
and Keith, the 2 gay geeks, talk about all aspects of geekdom and nerdery. Sci-fi, comics, film, horror, genre, you name it, we talk about it.
Find our episodes each week on tggeeks.com.
Visit our Facebook page, TG Geeks Webcast.
On Google Plus and YouTube, look for us as 2 Gay Geeks. You can tweet at TG Geeks and at the 2 Gay Geeks.
Or call our feedback line at 469-TG-GEEKS. That is 469-844-3357. Happy listening. Peace.
Cheers.
This is Steve Wozniak, You're listening to Chuck and Kreg on Technorama.
What are you laughing at?
I said, you're listening to Chuck and Kreg and Friends on Technorama.
And things.
Friends and things.
And things. I missed
All
there.
here on Gilligan's Island.
I don't know if T got the story about and things. We'll have to play the promo after we're done recording.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
It's that's an episode that goes down in infamy.
Definitely.
For several reasons too.
Well, T contributed the story, so he can read this one.
All right, I'll go on ahead and do that. Apple has reportedly dismissed an engineer after his daughter's iPhone X hands-on video went viral on YouTube. YouTube.
Inside joke.
Yeah.
So we got
if you go to youtube.info.
Brooke Amelia Peterson published a vlog earlier this week, which included a trip to the Apple campus to visit her father and see an unreleased iPhone X. Peterson's video was quickly picked up by sites like 9to5Mac, and it spread even further on YouTube. Peterson now claims her father has been fired as a result of her video. In a tearful video, Peterson explains her father's violated an Apple company rule by allowing her to film the unreleased handset at Apple campus. Apple repeatedly requested that Peterson remove the video, but it was clearly too late as the content spread further and further. The video itself may have seemed to be an innocent hands-on.
It was innocent.
But it did include footage of an iPhone X with special employee-only QR codes. A Notes app was also shown on the iPhone X in the video, which appeared to be including code names of unreleased Apple products. Filming on Apple's campus is strictly prohibited, so filming an unreleased iPhone X is a definite rule violation.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, this is kind of cut and dry. I hate to say it, but yeah, this
They're
was
not
this was a
disputing
boneheaded
it.
move.
Neither of them are disputing it. I actually saw a follow-up video by the daughter, and she's very upset about it. She feels really terrible. Her father feels very terrible, but neither of them are angry at Apple. They take full responsibility for what they did.
I'm just kind of surprised they didn't talk about that first. I mean, it's
Hey, Daddy's got a pretty secretive job.
Yeah, basic parenting 101.
Yeah.
I mean, my kid is starting to get into this sort of thing, and we're like, okay, if you're going to be uploading videos, we need to know what those videos are. We also need to know what you're up to, because that's what parents do.
Well, the fact also that there is this strict prohibition on filming anything on campus.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, right away, the moment she started to do her filming of this, her dad should have said, whoa.
No, whoa.
Sorry, honey. Nope. I know you like to do a lot of YouTubing because
that ain't happening.
But yeah, you can't do that because daddy could lose his job.
Let's take this iPhone X to the bar and we'll film it there, and I'll leave it there.
iPhone in the bar. Or better yet, how about you film it with me and we'll talk about it together, but you're not just going to willy-nilly whip out an iPhone X. God, did I really say willy-nilly?
You did.
Holy hand in a handbasket.
And whip it out.
Yeah. Willy. That's what she said. Anyway.
Holy handoff, whip it out?
Yeah. I mean, that's...
You need to get a new girlfriend.
Thank you. We just need to... I just think the parents need to take more active roles in what their kids are doing online. And that includes we do the random FBI check on our kid's phone. And I know I shared this story, so I'm going ahead and share it online. It was good fun. So apparently our kid thinks we're idiots because she was on Discord late at night and she was doing this thing where she was talking with her friends when she was supposed to be in bed.
Right.
And
now I've been there.
Yeah. Well, Pip's checking her phone for anything that shouldn't be there, and she sees her communicating on Discord, and she was getting pissed. And I said, "Hand me the phone, baby." And I got on the phone, and on my kid's account, I said, "Hey, Swoopy Dragon 2249, do you want to go on ahead and bring your iPad back downstairs and charge it up, or do you want your dad to start telling embarrassing stories about you on the Discord channel?" The entire channel went quiet. Just silence. And then we got this, "What?" And then one of the other kids that my kid was talking to went, "Lol." And then I hear this. I hear this from upstairs. And I'm like, okay, she's coming down. And she came down. I just looked at her and I said, "Rip the dream." And she hates it that her dad's a gamer. She hates it. She hates it so freaking much. You got to stay one step ahead of your kids. Otherwise, they're going to play you for chumps.
Hey, by the way,
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, I kind of trolled my son the other night.
Isn't it fun?
it was about 11:30, and I was ready to go to bed, but he was still up playing games, and it was on the weekend, so he stays up a little bit later, and that's fine. So what I did was on my phone, I scheduled a text for 1:05.
That's awesome.
In the morning to say, "Hey, it's time for you to hit the sack." That's all I said. So I went to bed, and of course, next day he's like, "I said, what time did you go to bed?" 1:10.
It's great. That's one of the perks of being a parent of a teenager. You get to troll them, especially if you're a nerd parent. If you're a nerd parent, the troll factor it's totally metal. I love it.
And I said this the other night. I'm going to say it again. I think being able to troll your kids like that is actually probably the best form of discipline ever. I really think so. It's better than I'm taking your device away and you're being punished for 3 weeks. That's not going to get anywhere.
No. But knowing that Dad is out there.
Yeah.
Dad's out there.
after they're done believing it's Santa Claus.
Yeah. Right.
Hey, Santa's not watching anymore. What can I get away with?
Burst your bubble here.
Quick shout out to the chat room. We do this show live on Facebook every week at 6:30 p.m. on Sunday nights. And we want to see you there. There are currently, a bushel basket full of people. See if I can find
lots
somebody.
of sharing
bushel
going on.
basket?
We have
Is this Wisconsin talk?
Victor Cahiao is watching.
Oh, my boy Victor.
Yeah.
Victor, where is my Mac? Victor, I'm coming for you, Victor. I'm coming for you from the grave, Victor.
Apparently he's moved to South Dakota recently.
Yeah,
And,
that's where Mac's at.
Sweet
in
ass.
an old gateway factory.
Oh dear.
Hey, you know what's funny is the other day he posted a picture of some light snow. He said, "Oh, winter's coming." I was like, "Look, the snow is safe. It's okay." Because he's been living in California, probably hadn't seen it.
We got Leanne Mabry is online making some comments.
Oh, hey, Leanne.
John
How you
Miller
doing,
Jr., JT Shea. Stay straight there, T. Your wife is watching.
Oh, right.
Like that'll change anything.
Clinton Alvord. Let's see who else we have in here. Ben
Is my wife
Vaughn,
really watching?
Hey,
That's
John
cool. Hi,
Clifford,
baby. Miss you.
Tim
Maybe
Elliott.
Pip is trolling T.
Yeah. She's got that. She is a black belt in trolling her husband. And although this was funny, I heard this. She saw some pictures from last night's event, and apparently, the after party for the PIY event, and she said to Serena, she said, "Your dad looks drunk in the pictures," and Serena said, "He's probably just tired."
And she must be talking about the picture of you and me and CJ.
Yeah, that's the one. I bet that's the one. And I was.
She's just like,
I'm ready to go to bed. I'm so
too tired to smile.
Thanks.
I recognized it. I was like, he must be tired and drunk.
No, one beer and one shot. That was everything I had for the night. I was exhausted. Man, the PIY event just took it out of me.
Craig, I'm going to call an audible and skip the next few stories and jump right to PIY since we're on the topic anyway. Looking at the play clock on the show. So,
wait a minute.
Yes.
Before you do,
yes,
mention the Patreons, and then we'll go straight to that.
All right. Thank you very much to our patrons. We'll play the Patreon music also. Thank you very much to our patrons. We have a new addition to the family this week. Well, he's been around for a long, long time. Thank you to Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Mike Wills, Leon, John Noble.
John Noble?
Not that John Noble.
We do that every time.
I'm just going to make a soundbite of that now. So even if you're not here, we can do that. Amy Bowen, Chris MC, Alexis Duran, Saturday Morning Media, a.k.a. Grandpa Choco, Steve Therian, Kyle Nishioka, a.k.a. Mad Marv, and our newest member, but longtime listener, Jorga Schrauen, the postcard man.
Yeah, the postcard man. There you go.
Thank you very much. Have you seen a picture of Jorga lately? He posted one on Facebook. Yeah, looks like a European model agency guy.
I know, right?
He's a sharp-looking young man.
I know. I was having to wave myself off. Whew.
Careful.
Okay.
Wow.
Something you need to share with us, Craig?
No,
move on.
Craig, I'm sure if you got near him, he'd be waving you off, too.
Yeah. Earlier, you were telling T to stay straight, but excuse me.
Hello, darling. Hello.
You got to get him on the right camera, don't you?
I love bald men. Oh, my.
Anyway. Sorry about that.
No, you're not.
Not in the slightest.
Pew, pew, pew.
PIY, for those who listen to Technorama who haven't heard the promo for the last couple of months.
We've been playing the crap
Feels
out
like
of
a
that.
year.
I know, doesn't it?
It has been.
Wow. Between everybody's podcasts, I'm sure it's been like,
but it's great.
That kind of support. Fantastic.
Fantastic.
So the genesis of this came out of rewriting the 3rd edition of Podcasting for Dummies. And T and I started talking, about April or May?
About May.
We should do some kind of workshop or book launch party or something associated with this. So it formulated and became, we picked a Saturday. It happened to coincide with T's birthday.
It did.
And he also gets to extend his writer's workshop trip and be on site for that as well. So once we found a venue, we locked in the date and we got everything going. The podcast community has just been terrific on this.
They really have been.
We've met a whole lot of new people who have stepped up. The content, I can't believe the people who delivered content last night.
Everybody was rock solid. Everybody was rock
outstanding.
solid. We had some new podcasters like I know Joe Hogan from Geektitude. He was there and he was doing something on accessories, which oddly enough evolved into a discussion about giving good interviews because he does an interview podcast. And then there was and then there was Raz.
Raz Yala.
Raz. Yeah.
Audacity.
Yeah, he was rocking the Audacity.
I think I saw a screenshot of him talking about it.
Yeah, and then there was Justin. Justin
Neely
knocks it out of the park. Justin Neely knocks it out of the park because he tackled the toughest thing to do.
Hosting.
And he was hosting. He was talking about this is the driest stuff, and I said no, this is the hardest stuff. This is the hump that everybody has to get over.
Yep.
Yeah.
And but I think the winner from last night's everybody needs to trip over themselves and see this was Vincent
Orlek.
He's of not just hashtags. I think that's the name of his group. He gave a talk on social media, but the thing was that these conversations would start with one topic and they evolve into something else, and that seemed to be the big. That seemed to be the big debate for everybody, which was, could we go longer? And instead of talking about this, could we also do a topic about this? And it would have been great if we had gotten. It would have been great if we could have gotten in the entire day, but that just wasn't.
At one point, we had to cut off Keith's panel because it was starting to run long, and they were asking all sorts of questions like, how have you downloaded your analytics? What kind of numbers you're getting, blah blah blah. And I thought, okay, whoa, that's a subject for a different panel coming up,
right.
But it just goes to show the kind of interest that there really is out there regarding podcasts.
Hey, Chuck and I can answer that right now and say no.
And what?
And then there was Mark and Jack and Mark Blackburn.
Yeah,
Mark Blackburn
and Jack Mangan. Those two gave a talk on how to keep your pod sanity. And that was just delightful because they were saying things like don't worry about the numbers, just make sure your show content is on point.
Do it for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, and by the way, I threatened to do the opposite of that panel. And insanity in your podcast.
Yeah, and Kevin O'Connor talked about passion.
Oh God! Kevin just knocked it out of the park.
What did he say?
Crochet if you want to do a podcast about crocheting for cats, you
crocheting
will have
three-legged
an audience.
cats.
Crocheting three-legged cats.
That's right.
And he said,
three-legged cats.
What was it? He said, "My mission is to."
I have it here because I did it as a tweet.
Yep.
It was. If I can get a child, hang on a minute.
My mission is to go to a con and get a child to walk up to a Jedi.
Here we go. My goal was to have one. Oh, you got to do it. My goal was to have one child call a Jedi baby stealer, and I would have been good. Yeah, that was the quote.
Wow.
I'll have me some TD0013.
There was some great humor going on. Wonderful presenters.
We were having a blast.
And the people who came out to watch this were also enjoying it, and they learned a lot. We got a lot of good feedback, and as we said earlier, there are people already saying, "Hey, when do we? When you do this next year?"
We're going, that killed us, yeah, because Chuck and I talked about it. We said, well, are we going to do it next year? And we think, well, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. But it was the participants who goes, when you guys do this next year, and we were just like, Fine.
So,
look at the time. It's time to go.
We're talking about, which location, East Coast, West Coast, whatever. Mark Blackburn has even chimed in with some larger ideas, shall we say?
Wow. Joe Hogan's already said that if I do it out east, he's gonna make the trip.
Oh, that's cool.
So I was like, wow.
Who?
Okay.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Joe Hogan from Geektitude.
Follow us on the Facebook page, Podcasting for Dummies, Instagram, PFD Authors, Twitter, PFD Authors, or go to the podcastingfordummies.com website.
My bell works.
That's where we're going to start formulating new. When there's news to say, we'll say it. So follow us around.
And not to minimize anything, because I know we rattle off a lot of names, but my husband gave a really, really great podcast because a really great presentation because a lot of people make tragic mistakes repeatedly whenever they're trying to do a podcast. And I thought his little thing about what not to do.
The show prep stuff.
The show prep stuff was
Yeah.
very, very important. So kudos to Keith for that one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, and then I didn't follow my own advice. My very first bullet point: check your equipment and make sure the mics work. Yeah, so
That's funny.
I recorded nothing for the
3 sessions.
The 3 sessions.
But you did get the Legends panel.
I did get the Legends
We had a
panel.
panel. T opened up with the keynote, and then we had concurrent sessions after that for hardware, software best practices. We did 3 each of those. We got a lot of content in 4 hours.
Yeah, we squeezed a lot in.
And then we came back into the larger room for the Legends of Podcast panel, which was Jack Mangan and me and CJ and Mike Meningay and who was on the end? Adam Christensen.
And you were in there. And you were in there as well.
That's what I said. I went down the line from my left to right.
Right.
He was in there.
So Jack, Chuck, CJ,
I was
Mike,
moderating, so
Adam.
I did very little.
And one
talking.
thing is, after the first panel was over, which was Kevin's passion, there was this lady she was having a terrible time deciding where to go next. And she made the comment, because she wanted to hear Keith's, but she wanted to hear the one on hosting as well. So she's like, I can't decide. I mean, you guys, you're coinciding all these things. And so, we have the building for a limited amount of time.
The idea was that we were going to have the kind of rotation schedule where if you missed the topic in one room, in the next block you could pick it up. The problem was that so many people brought so many good ideas to the table. We said, let's mix this up. And
we did get quite a bit of it recorded.
Yes, we did.
Aside from Keith's recording, there were 3 rooms going on, so we should have recordings from
Joe's
2 other rooms.
Yeah,
I think they put it in a corner or something because
it's going to be distant.
What did he say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mine was parked right on the podium. So it should be pretty good, unless you walked away from the podium like I did to go get something out of the box.
But long story short,
you got to remember to repeat your audience's questions.
Yes.
And long story short, we had a fantastic night. We had an absolutely fantastic night. And
I think for a first time out the gate, I think it was amazing. No, seriously. I mean, we hadn't done anything like this before. This is the very first time, and I mean, are there some improvements that can be made?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Oh, God, yeah.
But I thought it was a smashing success.
It was.
How many people did you?
We had about 25 paid people.
Was it?
25, 26. Yeah.
4 walk-ins.
There were a couple of walk-ins. It was pretty well done.
Pretty damn good. Darn
Yeah,
good.
it was.
We're actually going to have. At the
Dang.
last minute, we're talking like on the morning of the event. We arranged to have a photographer come in. Matt and PJ Drake, they came in. Piper J. Drake, I should say. The 2 of them came in and they volunteered their entire day to help us out. And
I'm really excited to see what they did.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. They got
he had some
work.
good equipment, and he was taking some good candid shots. T did a Facebook Live in the middle of this thing, walks in on my presentation, and I was too busy to even figure out what he was doing. I just went, hey, he's holding a phone. He's asking questions. I'm still presenting.
Oh,
never mind.
It's T being T. I'm moving on.
That's right.
It's a little TT.
Well,
Yes.
hey, I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited. I was able to. Oh wait, I couldn't. I wasn't there.
I also. Where is it?
Sucks.
God. Okay.
I'm going to be hearing that in my sleep now.
Okay. I just want to say real quick because I know she's watching the feed. Pip, do not give me any kind of crap right now because we've got dueling drop-ins over here. I can do whatever drop-ins I can do in my show because at least I got one person working the machine. F you.
I also want to state that part of the point of this was to reinvigorate a somewhat lost spirit of podcasting in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of podcasters, and I want to get together on a semi-frequent basis to share ideas and whatnot. I don't think we're going to be doing one of these or a podcamp every weekend, but just to have that community rebuilt again.
Yeah. I think it's also worth mentioning too. We had some guy that was that heard that Chuck was doing this, and he said, "Oh well, I'm out in Phoenix for a while, but I'm going to extend my business trip, and stick around for this event." Yeah,
nice. Yeah, he came in from the ServiceNow world, Kreg. He was here for a customer meetup, and extended, to be part of this. He's the guy who made out like a bandit on the silent auction table. And there was even a gentleman about 10 minutes to 5. Gentleman walking into our church, because that was the venue we were using. He walked into church and said, I got to be in service in 10 minutes, but can I talk to you about this? I'm kind of interested.
That was the guy you were talking to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Very serious topic, too. And I said that you have to talk about this. A podcast would be a great way to get your word out on that.
Oh, yeah.
It was...
you mean the subject matter he was talking about?
Opiate overdose.
Opiate overdose.
And he has a family member that was impacted by this, and he's like, wow, that's heavy stuff, and I think it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
And he wants to talk to other parents and how to address that. He said, because there's issues with this in 7th grade.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dumbfounded by that, but certainly if parents can raise awareness of this and he saves one child from a destructive lifestyle,
then this podcast is done good.
He's done his job.
Yep,
that's right.
Yep,
very cool. That's awesome. That's a help me remember his name. Lane
Williams.
He was doing doing the missing children podcast.
Yeah.
A while back.
Wow, serious.
Yeah,
some heavy stuff. But it was in one of those ideas you go, wow, that's actually a good idea.
That's a terrific idea.
It is, but I have to wonder, what would Kevin say about that? Your purpose of your podcast is to Wow.
Well, hang on though.
Entertain, inform, educate.
Those are the big ones. Look at Serial. Look at Lore. I mean, it's entertaining, but it's not necessarily wacky, funny entertainment. I mean, people really get into Serial. They hang on that every word, and that's true crime.
That's true.
I mean, So I think you can apply that in podcasting.
I'm not saying that I'm not discounting it, not at all. In fact, I think it serves a valuable purpose, especially if nobody else is doing it.
Right.
Yep.
In short, good time, a lot of information. You want to know more?
Even for experienced podcasters, we were saying that earlier. I mean, there are things that I heard during this workshop that benefited me.
Oh, I walked in on Roz's Audacity session going, I've been using Audacity for all. In 5 minutes, I learned 3 things. I didn't even know it had that colorful waveform screen thing.
Hey, I'll tell you something about Audacity, just throwing this out there. I kind of, one of our old listeners from the FIT days wanted to repost our Server Room of Horrors. And I said, yeah, no problem. Just send me a link and I'll share it out. So I did. And I started thinking about how much editing I did in Audacity with that. And I shared the joke before that I had to edit part of it and export that as a wave to go to the next section and do that because I just had so much going on. But it was amazing what I was able to do with just Audacity.
He only had a 128 meg computer at the time.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, it was just, yes, I'm a firm believer in Audacity, and I don't think anybody should discount it when they start talking about podcasts. I've seen people go, oh, I'm only using Audacity. I'm like, so what? You're making a podcast. That's all that matters.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right.
And we're talking about doing a second one.
Yes, we are.
A second podcast.
It's
infectious.
Oh, they're going to have another baby.
Yep. Oh, dear God.
You're going to be sorry you thought
Keep
of
us
that.
Informed. Keep us informed.
Chuck, you mentioned the tenets of podcasting, and I'm still waiting on T to make one that's entertaining. Just
And on that note,
no kidding.
Let's do our question of the week. Who wants to kill Kreg?
Me. Hey, Kreg, sorry. Just hang on a minute.
No. Once we're not broadcasting anymore, you can have some fun. All right.
I know.
Our question of the week is: what is the most everyday object you've seen someone hilariously fail to try to use?
Oh boy.
Speaking of audacity.
I was kind of thinking of T's infamous talking into the front end of a side-addressable microphone.
I know. I know.
What?
I'm thinking of everyday object.
Oh, the Apple Watch. Yes, talking and listening to your watch at the same time. Like,
There's also
the Dick Tracy thing doesn't look right when you hold it up to your ear.
Actually,
I was going to say the door. Funny thing about when you walk into where you go to a door and you're trying to push it open.
When it's a pull?
And it's a pull or vice versa.
Or you just walk into the window, boom!
Yeah.
Or you're out on the patio. I will never forget this. We just moved in the house. I walked out on the patio and closed the screen, and I'm doing something else, and then I'm walking back in the house, and it's like, what in the heck is going on here? Walked right
through the screen.
I've walked into the screen too. Normally it's screen door or glass door. So I open the glass door, walk into the screen. Like, what?
I've done that before.
The weirdest feeling, isn't it? It's like
you walk into a spider web.
What's worse is
it's
when
like
you're
walking into a spider web or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, now I'm inventing a new martial art whenever that happens.
What's worse when you're dealing with whether it's a pull or a push door is when it's a bathroom. You're stark naked and you're like, okay, I can't figure out which way this door's supposed to go. And if I call someone for help, I'm going to look like a total moron. And if it's in a hotel, you're totally screwed.
Yeah.
I think it's funny when you see people like in public places using their cell phone and it's clearly on speakerphone and they got it up to their ear like they're talking on it.
Everybody's hearing their
here's what if we're getting to cell phones where they pick up the cord microphone, which is perfectly designed to work while it's hanging loose, and they're talking to it an inch away from their mouth.
Right.
Is this to let everybody else
Jack
know
Bauer
around
thing? They saw that on 24, so they figured, well, if Jack Bauer's doing it, then I have to do it
If
too.
I'm walking around with earbuds just talking to myself, they might think I'm crazy, so I have to show them that I'm actually talking to someone, which will distort. Yes,
Miss Mothmar.
Would you like some fries with that?
Hey, a minute, Chuck. I seem to remember you way back in the day podcasting, and you said you would hold your cell phone up to your head so it looked like you were talking to somebody.
That's why you're podcasting.
But you were recording. You were recording.
Because if you're out walking in your neighborhood and you're just carrying on a conversation,
they're gonna think you're a crazy guy.
There was this time that when I was a kid and I was 12 years. It's like, oh cripes, Chuck's walking around again.
Yeah, what were you walking
around again, talking to
what was that you were talking? You were recording on the what's that old little lipstick size iRiver? Yes, thank you.
It's twice in one weekend. Nobody mentions the iRiver anymore.
I remember the iRiver.
Oh yeah, it was a great
Podcaster's necktie, baby. Podcaster's necktie.
Waiting for the follow-up.
Podcaster's necktie.
So that brings us to the top of the hour. We are done. Thank you for joining us. If you want to get in touch with us, thank you, Ben and Keith. Tell the listener where they can find you if they didn't hear the promo earlier.
TGGeeks.com.
Yay!
And utub.info.
Yes.
And T. Morris, where?
Well, they can find us at podcastingfordummies.com. They can find me and my wife at ministryofpeculiaroccurrences.com or at theshareddesk.com. You've got my blog at tmorris.com, and you've got my new podcast, which is Happy Hour from the Tower at happyhourfromthetower.com. It's a Destiny-themed podcast. It's me and some fellow Guardians. We get together, and actually I'm going to be doing a special video episode where I feature the cosplay talents of Kevin O'Connor.
Outstanding.
And you'll find tea in bookstores everywhere.
Thanks for all the help, Craig.
Yes, my pleasure.
Okay, now he's doing the Japanese delayed thing.
Yeah. Hey, it's the end of the show. Don't worry about it, man.
Your video is way over. Thank you for joining us, everybody. If you want to get in touch with us, call us on the listener line, 707-530-2428. We'd love to make sure that it still works. Call us, email us, technorama@chuckchat.com, or find us on the usual places. Go over to chuckchat.com/technorama and find our page. Oh, they're dancing again. Here we go. Out with the music. Craig's not dancing now. That's too late. Thanks and good night.
1, 2, 1. Hey, fire phasers, delay that order.
Dan, that's the way it goes. Thank you, Facebook people, for joining us. We are going to sign off and see you next week.
Oh, my.